Hello everyone, welcome to a fun and interesting session of podcast with university delegates at Imperial here. We have different universities here who are present to talk something. We'll ask questions, we'll talk something. It'll be more like an impromptu session over here. So yeah, welcome to all of them. We have a group of delegates here. We have IIT, that is Illinois Institute of Technology, Chicago over here. We have University of Miami, but this is the Ohio one, not the Florida one, just bubble breaker. We have the amazing Rochester Institute of Technology, right from the snows of Rochester. We have University of Memphis from Tennessee, and we have University of Texas at Arlington. If we can introduce with your name and what you do, please.
Sure. So, as he said, I am from the University of Texas at Arlington. My name is Sheikh, and I am basically the representative for the university, wherein I help the students who wish to come to our campus, help them with whatever information that they need. So yeah, if you're looking to come at the UTA, it's me who you need to connect with.
Then we have Memphis.
Thank you. So similar to what he does, I represent University of Memphis. I am the regional head for India and South Asia, looking after all student recruitment movements, everything, information exchange for anyone who's interested to come into University of Memphis.
We have Rochester.
Hello everyone, I'm Ocean. So I'm the Assistant Director of Global Affairs for RIT. And just like what all of them said, I am also the face for RIT, one of the faces for RIT here in India. And you would bump into me at many of these education fairs. And I'm looking forward to meeting with all of you very, very soon.
And I'm Sudeep, as hearing so explained, Miami of Ohio, which still has got great crazy parties and amazing institution to study with a lot of opportunities, and I take care of the operations, admissions and recruitment for South Asia. And yes, I'm always available and happy to help students who are curious to know more about us and be a part of our university.
Yes.
And finally, I'm the last one here today. I am Farheen Memin and I represent IIT Chicago. So it's Illinois Institute of Technology Chicago, not the IIT here that we say in India. I would be the person you always connect with if you have any questions about Illinois Tech in general or Chicago as a city. So I am actually having a team of people who assist students like you who are interested and curious to know about the application process or just getting to the university campus for your undergrad or master's level programs, and we'll be happy to connect for sure more after this as well. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you everyone. So I'll just shoot out a question. Like, we are doing this for the first time, so a basic question. Indian students, if you see, are more gung-ho about rankings of any specific university, not just yours but any specific university. Just a question thrown to the panel here, your views, your opinions on rankings, or how should they look at the universities? I mean, just an open question. Anyone who wants to take it up first, I'm more than happy. Yes, Sudhir.
Well, I believe when you actually look down to shortlisting universities, there are more than like 3,000 plus active universities who have got multi-purpose programs available. But I believe that you as a student should narrow down more of like finding the best fit for you. And when you're finding a best fit, I believe you should use a couple of principles like the price, the priority, the program, the prospects, right? Because when you're sitting in front of a US recruiter while you apply for those OPT, CPT internship based positions, the rankings of the university, the brand may not be really a big necessity. What exactly is going to be mattering is your resume, which should be highlighting your skills, your projects, your mini projects, your technical side of the program. US has always been one of the destinations known for STEM programs, right? We encourage students to go for science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and the institutes today here actually specialize in those programs as well. Right, so US government has always got provisions for international students, and they really need students who can come and contribute to these four major domains. So I believe that ranking should be one of your last parameter, and you should be focusing on if it is the best fit for the university. So we see a lot of students, who would just always follow like a pipe piper.
Fair enough.
Seniors
so on
moving in.
your point, what you highlighted, that's a good thing. Again, open for everyone. Whatever I'm asking is actually open for everyone.
So I just wanted to add on to what he said. I think he made an extremely valuable point and a great insight for everyone. So just adding on more to what he said, many a times one ranking alone cannot define the university. For example, a school might be ranked on different parts of the colleges that it has. So for example, at RIT itself, we have the game design and development program and the film and animation program. At first glance, if someone were to see Rochester Institute of Technology, they would automatically assume that it's only a technological school. But we have some excellently ranked programs in other domains as well. So if a student is necessarily looking at ranking, they should not look at a generalized ranking, but more cater to their needs and requirements in terms of their aspirations for their careers. So along with, ranking, there are also other things like he said, what fits best for you. I think that's very important for all students to understand, and that's not limited to just ranking.
I would also like to add, from an academical viewpoint, it's also important that you look into accreditations, the kind of curriculum that your university is showcasing. Are they, regionally accredited? What are the additional accreditations that they might have? What are the individual programs, the curriculum looking like? I think a lot of students do tend to skip on that and just hyper focus on what the word of mouth has been, rather than doing their own research. So that research bit, I think, is very important rather than just going ahead with numbers.
And also, rankings just do not justify an institution, because we all know that rankings are generally these magazines, right, which really evaluate universities in various areas, whether we have the funding for a research opportunity or not, or whether we have done an XYZ kind of an event.
If you have a park or not.
Absolutely.
There it goes. So rankings are not really the best suitable way, but obviously, as what Sudipta mentioned, we should look at everything, mostly location, the kind of program that you're interested in, the curriculum, because in the end, once you graduate, rather than having the name of the university, they'll ask you questions, and if you're answering them and if you bring something very good to the table, I'm sure that is what is going to help you find a job versus the name of the university.
But Indian mindset, I mean,
Correct.
I'm not offending anyone here, but on a very, very, very kind note, Indian mindset says that the better the ranking, the better the chance of getting a job. Recruiters will look at you in a kinder way. So, is this a myth or an actual fact in life?
Myth.
Myth? Yes.
Yeah, 100%,
I can give supporting examples. So, Microsoft, Mecca of IT graduates. Every IT graduate wants to be in Microsoft. Like every cricketer wants to play in Lords. Right, it's like a dream institute, right? Yeah, I mean, Lords, right. So, like giving an example now, when we saw some statistics of Microsoft recruiting students across US universities, we saw a particular project where they had 16 of them working together. There was students from Princeton in the project. There was a student from New Haven. There was a student from University of Miami, Cleveland State, Harvard, MIT, NYIT. Now, if you actually check the rankings,
they are very different.
They are different, but each of these students were being selected based on the skills. And even if you see the location, they are, spread across the US, not coming in from one particular location or anything. So yeah, they were all picked up on their merits. And no one was actually asked what was your university ranking.
Right. I think the industry is also moved towards having individual skill sets. I think that's very important as to what you're enhancing yourself, holistically overall. What are you bringing to the table rather than just coming in from a brand from that perspective. Yeah.
As you know, all of you all have added quite a few points. So just to sum this particular question up, what I feel is when a student is looking for any options, the first thing that they need to look at is what the curriculum looks like.
Absolutely
because
correct.
Every program or every university may have similar programs, but their curriculum may vary a lot. So it all comes down to what you require as a student, what's your aim, what's your goal in terms of your career. Based on that, you need to align the best possible program first, and then comes the university.
Right.
So, it always has to be the other way around. Look at what you need, and you can excel with any university that you want to.
Lovely.
If you have those skills.
So staying on a couple of points mentioned over here, like we have universities over here who come from way up north in the US, Canada border, to Mexico border. One, I mean, yeah. The point is, you guys did speak a lot about location as well. How much does the location matter to get a job? I'll be honest with you. Okay, we somehow don't have any school from California over here, but many Indian students who come to us as counselors, they prefer, we wish to go to California for XYZ. Okay, so again, open panel.
So honestly, I think it doesn't matter at all because when students are placed from RIT, though it's up there in the north, they are placed all over the US and in fact all over the world. So honestly, it depends on the employer partners that are hiring you, and along with that, where they are based and where they want you to be based. So it has nothing to do with the location of the university as per se.
And yeah, and the point here is students can change the location. Like again, you are in Rochester, you are in Chicago, you are in Ohio, Texas, Tennessee. Okay. The point what I have seen a lot is, like, I know of many students who have studied in Far East, like something like a Tennessee or a Rochester, okay, or somewhere in New York, New Jersey, somewhere, and they are currently working in either California or Seattle or even Dallas, as a matter of fact. So these things do matter. Now, okay, when you talk about Dallas, now it's becoming the next Silicon Valley of the US, is what they say.
Yeah.
Any pointers on that?
Yes, in fact, when you talk about the progress, see, we do understand the current situation back in US is not very stable in general, but when
you're talking about employment wise.
Yes.
Fair enough.
But when we look at Texas as a state, post-pandemic, it is shown a good potential, and that's for a very particular reason. As you said, the next Silicon Valley. Now that's because of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Now this is becoming a home to a lot of multinational companies. So it's like it has a lot of potential to grow. And yes, as you said, it's kind of progressing towards becoming the next Silicon Valley. It's because of the opportunities that are there in that state.
Fair enough.
I also just wanted to put this out there because from a government perspective and from a political perspective, I don't think that the government of the United States would just want to develop an already developed state or city. There are a lot of policies that are involved in developing tier 2, tier 3 regions as well, which then enhance partner potential companies to come in with a massive tax rebate. For example, the University of Memphis, again, this is like a huge selling point for us because Memphis has the global headquarters of FedEx located just 10 minutes away from the campus, right?
And so when you have, say, apart from Jack's factory, there's something else.
Yes, there's something else. So when you have FedEx, like such a massive logistics partners, global headquarters at Memphis, you have the ripple effect happen. You have so many different companies come in, and there are different headquarters being set up. Now, Amazon comes up with 5 fulfillment centers. Ford is coming up with their world's largest EV power plant. Elon Musk is doing this everywhere, but then he's also there in Memphis building a supercomputer. So you need to understand that there is a point to a city to reach saturation, and that's the same for Mumbai or a Delhi or a Bangalore, just so that students have that perspective. But then you also have a Pune, and then you also have an Ahmedabad. You also have so many different cities that are popping up, like in Hyderabad. So you cannot look into a country which is such a huge country, like the United States of America is massive, right? You cannot focus or hyper focus into just 1 or 2 cities.
Absolutely.
Because then you are putting yourself up for massive competition by yourself, because just like you, every other student has the same mindset, and it just becomes you're missing out on a lot of opportunities.
So we have 2 bigger cities over here in Dallas and Chicago, but relatively smaller cities with Miami and Ohio. Rochester is big, but I mean New York State is big, but relatively Rochester and Memphis. I talk to a lot of students. Obviously I have been to the US as well in the past, and I know I get to know a lot about, let's say, an Albuquerque, New Mexico, or something in Iowa or Nebraska, Tennessee, Ohio. These states doing Louisiana, these states having relatively, if I talk percentage-wise, better job opportunities as compared to some of the larger states. So,
Yes.
any views on these? I mean,
Well, lately, if you actually see these states, they are very economical. If you're looking forward to put up a setup, or you're trying to bring in a regional headquarters. Like for example, Ohio is considered to be known as a Fortune 500 state
it is.
because of a lot of Fortune 500 regional headquarters. Reason because the cost of living and the cost of operations and logistics is very affordable on this site, or maybe in this state. And similarly maybe for states like Alabama or Tennessee, or maybe when you're moving up towards uptown North New York,
Yeah.
right, these have got good sizes of area
Something
available
like a Rochester,
in terms
Buffalo,
of development.
Syracuse.
Yeah, exactly. So similarly, like if you see India, they're coming up with gift cities in Gandhinagar,
Correct.
Yeah.
and then maybe one which is external or greater Noida or
Yeah.
outside Noida, because
Yes.
that's the only part where you have huge properties to set up maybe university
Right.
campuses, and maybe affordable in terms of operational cost point of view. So this allows these tier 2 states, maybe if they want to name it, like students want to put it in a way that okay, these are tier 2 states compared to California, Texas, and maybe Florida and New York City.
Absolutely.
Not New York. Then maybe these are coming up with opportunities.
And why are we forgetting that we're living in post-pandemic, where a lot of our work schedules are hybrid or virtual?
Yeah.
For example, in 2023, a lot of our students from the MSIS department have gotten an average salary of $134,000, right? So imagine living in Memphis and having to pay peanuts, right? It is a big city. It's one of the biggest cities in the South, but you're earning $134,000 and you're paying peanuts for rent. And you're having a great life. You're having being able to have a better savings and planning for your future. So let's not restrict ourselves. I think post-pandemic things have really evolved and they really changed, and the way we look at working has also changed. I don't know.
So Jack Daniels and savings, I think we should shift.
Yeah, I mean, I can do a podcast with her right now. Yeah, but having said that, many times students over here, and we are focusing more on Indian students because we are sitting right in India. This podcast is coming to you from Pune. Yeah, half of us from Mumbai, but the podcast is coming to you from Pune. But anyways, the point being, a lot of students have a question, parents have a question, like the way it happens in India. Placements are given on campus. Companies come on campus to give placements in India. They assume that in the US also it's the same thing. How good is a placement of some university? I mean, does the university give you placement? So, I mean, I know you have a co-op. Firstly, explain what is co-op. I mean, then we'll shoot the question ahead.
Sure.
Yeah.
So co-op is basically like you can imagine it to be a paid full-time internship. So it's something that you work with top companies in the US or even outside the US. They pay you, they give you valuable experience before you're even a graduate student, and it adds a lot of weight to your resume overall. So it's an excellent way for students to get that extra experience and have that edge over their peer competitors.
But does the university help students find co-ops?
Absolutely. So at the undergraduate level, in fact, it's quite mandatory for a lot of programs. At the graduate level, it's more optional. So, during the summer is usually when we have the most co-ops happening. So we do have those companies coming in, opportunities are available. Of course, it depends on whether you grab it. But yes, opportunities are available to all to apply and go ahead and shoot their shot.
Lovely. So, a question to all of you. What is the difference between a campus fair and a campus placement?
Campus fair is basically just like today, we invited students to chat with us, but
Yes.
we never gave them an offer, and that is exactly what a career fair also would mean. So we have a very active career development cell. I'm sure each of our universities in general will have a very active career development cell that assists students throughout the journey. So we are always available. We provide the support and services not only from, just when the time comes to make an application to a company, but from building a CV, how to build a template of a CV that does not replicate with a million other students as well. Plus, how to build your profile. All of those niche, small information is also shared. Plus, when to apply and how to apply. We bring in so many companies so that you can engage with them, learn more about them. So these are career fairs that generally happen. So we have career placements in these ways, not like the way the Indian mindset has set, like, career placement means that the university offers you a job. job as well, because we are an institution. An institution means what? You come here, study, we give you the right resources, and then you go ahead and do your own thing. We leave you in the world, but always have the anchor.
The last part is the critical thing, that we help you, we aid you, but you have to do your own thing.
Correct.
My father in childhood used to say, in Gujarati, but I'll translate it in English, we can take the horse to the water.
Correct.
Make it drink.
We cannot have that drink.
I can hear the Gujarati power.
I mean, just to add up to this, now we understand that here in India, the placement thing is big.
Yes.
But then we also need to understand that, we come from a different background. When you talk about India, we have had a history. That when you talk about the US, that they're more into the networking part. So they want to give you the opportunity, not just limited to, maybe a couple of companies, but we are throwing out, like we're putting you in the ocean. Now it's up to you, how you take that opportunity, how you network with people, and then look for, the correct opportunities that may be available for you as a student. So I think that's where the career fairs thing comes into picture, where even we are giving you the exposure that you need as a student.
So we can hands-on say that every school in the US does have at least 2 career fairs in a year. One in the fall semester, one in the spring semester.
Yes.
Fall semester more useful for finding internships, and spring semester more useful for finding full-time jobs.
Absolutely.
But generally, universities don't have a guaranteed placement drive anywhere. Barring a couple of schools who have a mandatory co-op wherein the university does aid them, like Rochester is one of them. We know for a fact Northeastern is another school which has a mandatory co-op. Anyone here who has a mandatory?
Add us to the list.
Thank you. That's what. So yeah, we are here to bust some myths. So you are helping me in that,
I want
right?
to quickly add, and I'm sorry I'm hogging up a lot. So